Hey guys, Adam Francisco here. Welcome back to my channel. A few quick updates for you guys. The first is that Montezuma's revenge, which you guys might have heard of, is legit. I have been out for 3 days. Now, a lot of you are probably gonna ask me, what did I eat or drink to get Montezuma's revenge? The answer is I have no idea. I really don't. So it's just the reality of traveling to places. Sometimes you get food poisoning when you're in less developed countries, and that's what happened here. It's a risk of being a global citizen and also having a very low cost of living. That's just the bottom line. So a few of you guys have been sending me messages of some topics you want me to talk about, so I figured I'd do an episode and just kind of like give my thoughts on all these different topics in current events and pop culture. So the first one I'll talk about, because this was a big one last week, is the GameStop AMC. Now, I have the privilege of hindsight. And once GameStop became this huge thing in the news, people started coming up to me on Facebook and Instagram asking me, did I invest in GameStop? Did I invest in AMC? Because people know that I've been making a living off of the stock market for years now. But the reality is, I did not. I didn't even know about it until it was like mainstream media. And the one thing that I know is when everyone's talking about something, that's when it's time to get out. I've learned this the hard way. Back in 2017, everybody was talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I had put a significant amount of money into it when it was towards its highs of 2017. And I watched my investment go down by about 80%. And I gotta admit, it hurt. But what happened was I was chasing greed. And there's a famous expression.
You should be fearful when the market is greedy, and you should be greedy when the market is fearful.
Right? Like, I'll give you one quick example. If the stock market crashes, let's say, and it goes down by like 50%, that's when you buy, because everyone's fearful. And you'll benefit of the prices going back up. It's just common sense. But back to the cryptocurrency story, yeah, it hurt. To see my investment go down by 80%, that's a big hit, and it's a hit you either don't recover from ever, or it takes a long time to recover from. But at that point, having lost so much money, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it, because at this point, it's either gonna be zero, or I get to take out 20%. I'm like, there's no point. And I'm happy to say that my investments from 2017 are now very deep in the green. Very deep in the green, because the crypto market has come back with a vengeance. You guys know that Bitcoin is, still doing very well. Ethereum now, oh my goodness, Ethereum is just an absolute fire. But the point is, I did not touch GameStop or AMC, and I had no intentions to, because I knew I was too late to the party. And look, it might pop still, and I'm cheering for the Wall Street Bets guys. I'm cheering for them. I'm proud of them. I love what they've done, but I just think the timing is off for me right now, and I think personally, cryptocurrency is a stronger investment at this time. Now, I'm not a financial expert, I don't have to say that, so don't take my advice. I'm just trying to be transparent in some of my opinions on the investment vehicles that you can make. Don't ask me what to do with your money. I'm just gonna tell you that I believe in cryptocurrency. I'm not willing to put more than I've already put in at this point, which is either gonna be a big regret, or at least I'll be able to say that I made some money from crypto, which I think will keep me happy enough. Yeah, I did not buy GameStop, but I'm very proud of those plebes. Good job, guys. Here's a crazy statistic that makes me feel a little better about my own channel on YouTube. CNN primetime viewership is down by 44%. They call it the post-Trump bump or something like that. CNN doesn't have Trump to talk about anymore, so they lost a lot of their viewers. And I'll say that after the election, my viewership also went down because people just simply aren't as interested in politics. This story is just absolutely heartbreaking. A man named Vicha Ratanapakdee from San Francisco was shoved brutally by a 19-year-old thug animal, Antoine Watson. They believe that this attack was racially motivated. I believe Antoine Watson has been arrested. 19-year-old piece of shit. And honestly, this probably is a hate crime, and this 19-year-old just ruined his entire life. He'll be spending the rest of his life behind bars, which is, I think, the least outcome that should happen from this. One thing that I do want to point out, and I'm not sure if you guys know this, I was surprised by this myself, but according to FBI statistics, most crime is intraracial, meaning it's within the same race. So you'll have a lot of black on black crime, you'll have a lot of white on white crime. However, the Asian community is the only group where there is not a high level of interracial crime. They actually get attacked most often by people of other races. And so this speaks to Asian Americans truly being one of the largest victims of racially motivated hate crimes in America. We don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about it enough. All you hear in the news is Black Lives Matter and whenever a police officer does something to a black person, but we really rarely hear about when it happens to an Asian person. And that's tough because the facts bear out that that is what actually happens the most often. You guys know how much I love Governor DeSantis. He is, without question, the best governor. But if you didn't think so before, you're definitely going to think so after this clip. He is just completely standing up for small businesses. He believes that every job is essential, which, if you think about it, really is, right? If a job is what's giving you income, which is allowing you to put food on the table, pay your bills, pay your rent, well, that job is essential. So to that person, there's no difference whether you're a doctor, a nurse, or a cashier, or an accountant, or a lawyer. Like, your job is essential because you need it to survive. So I think Governor DeSantis understands this, especially within the service industry. So he's doing everything he can to fight against the draconian Democratic lockdowns. He doesn't want to close restaurants. He doesn't want to close hairstylists. He doesn't want to close any service industry because we need to keep those jobs alive. We got to keep the economy open. And just check out this clip. You guys will enjoy it.
Florida also led and continues to lead on protecting the livelihoods of our people. While so many other states kept locking people down, Florida lifted people up. We believe every job is essential. You work in a restaurant, we have your back. If you are a hairstylist, we protect your right to earn a living. And if you are a parent, we ensure your kids have the right to attend school in person. Lockdowns do not work. School closures have been disastrous. Yet even today, we see across our country businesses shuttered, lives ruined, and schools closed. Indeed, in major parts of the country, students might not return to in-person instruction until the fall. Florida schools are open. Every Floridian has a right to work. All businesses have a right to operate, and Florida is better for it.
I don't know if you guys have been going to fast food lately, but before I left the US, I was going to McDonald's a lot just because it was super convenient. Don't judge me. But I noticed that pretty much every McDonald's now in America has kiosks where you can order without ever talking to a person. You use the touch screens. And think about this. If Joe Biden is going to push the minimum wage to $15 an hour, well, these companies are going to have no choice but to invest in kiosks instead and save money over the long term and to hire someone for $15 an hour. So ultimately, it is going to backfire. We're going to have fewer jobs. We're going to have more automation. Because the thing about America is, much like the world, America doesn't have a standard cost of living. Like, if you live in New York, or you live in the middle of the country, like, I don't know, Utah, your cost of living, your rent, the cost of services is so much different. Even New York City to Florida. I remember from experience, I was living in LA, that was definitely cheaper than New York. I was surprised by that. Not only did I pay less rent, but my buildings were newer that I was living in. I had more amenities, got more for your money. So that's why I love not living in New York, because life is just cheaper and better outside of it. However, I will say in defense of New York, you can make the most money in New York, most likely on average. Of course, based on your careers and your skill set, there are exceptions to that, but New York City is really the place to make bank for a lot of different careers. But the bottom line is you can't just make a $15 minimum wage across the country and then, you know, everyone's going to be happy. You're going to destroy so many small businesses outside of these big urban areas. That's just the way it's going to be. And I got a story for you guys from the Gateway Pundit. Kroger to close 25% of its stores in SoCal Beach City after City Council passes mandate requiring certain companies to pay employees an extra $4 an hour. They can't afford it. So what happens? They shut down their stores. And now all those jobs, gone. And that's what Joe Biden's proven that he's good at. He's very good at making jobs disappear and hurting the little guy. Joe is not for the little guy. Joe is for the establishment, he's for the elites, and he's for the corporations. And we all knew this. We got 47 years of track record to look at, and we knew exactly who Joe Biden was, and he's living up to that expectation. He also did lie. I'm very happy to see that Biden lied is trending on Twitter. He did say day one, stimulus checks are going out. It's been a few weeks. Come on, Joe, where are the checks? Where are the checks, Joe? Who built the cages, Joe? Who built the cages?
Who built the cages, Joe? Who built the cages, Joe? Let's talk about.
Anyway, if you do regret voting for Joe Biden, I made a video for you. You guys can watch it out up here. I'll put the link below. Send it to a friend too. If you know someone that regretted voting for Joe Biden, send them my video. Maybe it'll help them out a little bit. And last but not least, probably the most important update tonight, because it's something that I'm personally invested in. The Hua Hin Food Bank sent me an amazing update, and a lot of it is a huge thanks to you guys. We're able to feed so many people for the next week through our donations. I spoke to the founder, Sue, and she says that it looks like we can feed about 240 people for the next week with the donations we've done, which is just absolutely incredible. Keep in mind in Thailand, the translation is about $1 equals one meal. So when you donate $1, you're literally putting a meal on the table for a newborn mom, a newborn, a young child, or a family in the city of Hua Hin, Thailand. The people there are absolutely struggling right now because of the draconian lockdowns that are happening, the lack of support, but also there's no tourism. You know, one thing about Thailand that they did to slow the spread of COVID was, and I'm not saying this about Thailand, I'm saying it about this whole slow the spread thing in general, but to slow the spread in Thailand, what they've done is they did a 2-week mandatory quarantine. So when you land, you'd have to stay at a government facility for 2 weeks. Now, I was going to go to either Philippines or Thailand. Philippines was impossible because you'd have to be a national of Philippines to enter. But Thailand, with the 2-week rule, my dogs, what are they not going to walk for 2 weeks? They have to stay in the room. That's just not healthy for them. And I don't think it's healthy for anybody to just stay inside a room for 2 weeks straight. Regardless, if I was alone by myself without my dogs, I would have done it. But with the dogs, I got to keep them in mind, and they want to go for walks. They want to be outside. They need sunlight. That's just the bottom line. So I didn't go. And unfortunately, a lot of people are making the same decision I did. They're not going to Thailand. They're not supporting the country right now. Without tourism, maybe Bangkok could survive because they're a big business hub of Asia. But when you start to go to these beach towns, that's it. Tourism's make up almost the full economy. Their hotels, their taxis, their travel, the restaurants, the services, the massages, pretty much everything you can do on the beach towns is being funded by foreigners and tourists. So there's a lot of reasons why Hua Hin is especially struggling. I'm sure a lot of other areas like Chiang Mai and maybe Phuket and some of the islands like Koh Phangan and Koh Samui, I'm sure a lot of them are struggling. But because I spend so much time in Hua Hin, that's why I'm focused on that. I'd love to help every single person in Thailand if I could, but I need to focus my efforts, and I'm going to be laser focused on Hua Hin. And so again, if you guys have not donated yet and you love to support the people there, I'm going to put a link to her PayPal below. It's also going to be here. And you could just send her money directly. I did ask her what percentage of donations go towards helping the people of Hua Hin, and she confirmed that it's 100%. So if you send her $1, she will put $1 towards food, which will go right in the bellies of the hungry people, the hungry families, the newborn moms of Hua Hin. But also I got a video from her, so I want to share that with you guys. This is from Sue, and I think this is a great way to end the video. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for your donations. Thanks for watching, and enjoy this amazing video. Sue, we got your back, and hopefully we're going to be sending some more money your way.
I just want to give a huge shout out this morning to Adam Francisco, who's championing our food bank cause stateside. Between him and his followers to date, we've received over $900, and I can't thank you all enough. This in real terms locally will feed up to 66 families, which is over 250 people for a whole week. Speechless, totally speechless. Hua Hin and its people capture many people's hearts, and we're very fortunate that it captures appreciated yours, Adam. Thank you so very much. I will follow up with pictures during the week of where some of this money is going. So please keep watching and you'll see how much you are helping. God bless all. Thank you. A huge shout out to everybody that's helped fill these shelves yesterday. I can't believe the response, and I'm so grateful for donations big and small. We have got enough food here to feed at least 100 people. We've got snacks, tuna fish, not tuna fish, mackerel in sauce, and some tuna fish, and rice, which is obviously the staple. We've also had some amazing monetary donations which will help keep the poor people in Hoo Hin fed. God bless you all. Thank you so much.